Welcome to another episode of Out of the Pods. I'm Deepti.
And I'm Natalie. What the heck was that?
Dude, the caffeine is kicking in and I'm spiraling.
That's crazy that you just need caffeine to spiral because I just spiral naturally. Every day I wake up and I was like, I'm spiraling. My life is on the downhill way, if you know what I'm saying.
When you wake up in the morning, are you like super fucking like on? Because I am, and I'm like singing in the morning. And if I'm like sharing a room with somebody, they're like, shut up, please. I'm like that type.
100% no. I'm like a slow waking person where I wake up and then I like kind of scroll through my phone for like 20 minutes and then I finally get out of bed.
Yeah.
That type of thing. I've always been like that. That's why I have never worked out in the mornings because I need that extra like 10, 20 minutes to just chill.
Oh,
I need to wait for like that morning coffee to kick in. And then you know what? So I did a makeup tutorial on my Instagram page. Like I posted it. It was for a brand. And it was for real. Like I only take like 5-10 minutes to do my makeup now, like my everyday makeup, because I literally do not have time. I used to waste an hour doing my makeup every day for work.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have a crush at work. It was just to go to work.
I know. It's wild. I used to commute to work an hour, like both ways. And to save time, I literally did my makeup in traffic in the car. I'm like, how did I do that shit? I just be like, because I'm like, I can't.
Well, that's better. My commute used to be around 45 minutes. Like I used to take the bus that I used to take to work in Chicago. No one like literally drives in the city, but the bus, it would just always get stuck in traffic. Oh, that's true. You love a little good driving.
I love my car.
You are a very good driver. I won't lie. I am not, but I used to take the bus. And like that's 45 minutes, but obviously I can't do my makeup on the bus. I feel like that's like kind of unsanitary.
No,
like what if like a brush falls and stuff? Anyways, but like on top of that 45-minute commute, I would also spend like an hour sometimes doing my makeup.
Dude, do you remember when we like the fact that we came up with cute fucking outfits every day for work too? I'm like, who was that person? Who is she and where is she now? Because
I know now I'm
tired.
Couldn't be
me.
100%. The pandemic changed my world. I was like, the pandemic showed me I could just get up and work, go straight from bed to computer, or even take a meeting in bed, like I'd be off camera. And I was like, that changed. Dude. After that, I was like, there is no way I could ever be that Natalie back in 2018.
Can I tell you, my sister got a job like during COVID and she will never know what life was like before. I'm like, I used to work really hard. I went into the office 3 times a week, which is not that much, but I was like, God damn.
No, I went every day and I lived for summer Fridays. When I was interviewing for a job in my early 20s, if a company was like, we honor summer Fridays, which is on Fridays during the summer, you could get out at 12, like you could go home. I was like, oh my God, like this is gold. Like what a benefit.
I know.
And now look at me.
I know. Now
look at us.
Look at us now.
Look, can we catch people up on like what we've been up to since last week's episode? Because guys, I had a little LIB reunion a few days ago.
Been in Chicago.
Yeah.
Tell me about New York.
Okay. Yeah. I want to tell everyone about New York. Oh my God. Oh, wait.
What?
Mike, you stopped.
Oh, it's fine. Is it catching up? Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Ow, wait. Let me fix my legs since I'm here. Okay.
I'll restart it from the beginning.
Okay.
What the heck is up with your leg?
Sorry. It folded. Okay, I'm good. I was sitting folded. Okay, we're good.
Okay, let's catch everyone up on what has happened since last week's episode. First off, can I just talk about New York?
No, I'm just kidding. Yes. Please tell me about New York.
I brought up a question so I could talk about myself because, I had a little Love is Blind reunion with like people across the seasons when I was in New York City last week. And I don't really have a lot of tea to say, even though I learned a lot of tea, but it was just really fun. It was like kind of like it's weird when you watch someone on TV and you interact with them on social media, and then finally a year later you see them in person. Just to give some context, I went to New York City to film a commercial. And Micah, Xana, Bartice, and Izzy were part of that commercial. If you guys don't remember who those people are, Micah was from season 4, Xana and Bartice were from season 3, and Izzy, of course, was from season 5. I feel like I was really hard on Micah and Izzy on this podcast when we were recapping their seasons. Like, obviously Micah had that like the mean girl edit type of thing. And, it was, I don't know. Obviously, it didn't look great on TV. Same thing with Izzy. When Izzy and Stacey went really hard on Johnny, that wasn't a good look. So obviously,
Yeah.
we reacted to the edit Netflix gave us. But
Mhm.
I felt a little bit awkward going in to meet them because I was like, oh, like I know they either have listened or like heard
Because you
about
talk
like what
shit.
we've said.
Yes.
Well, I was just reacting to what the edit Netflix and kinetic
Yeah.
content were giving us pretty much.
Yeah,
And,
of course.
I think it would have been disingenuous to like
And I
say
think that's
otherwise.
yeah, and I think that's
Like,
really important to state is that like when we're recapping, we're literally just like it's objective. It's what we're seeing as viewers, and it's not personal.
but anyways, like it's so crazy because like you meet these people in person. And to be honest, even with Zanab and Bartice, I had my own like preconceived notions about them because we obviously watched their season. Um, but everyone was so nice. Can I just tell you? It's like really
Yeah.
hard when you meet them in person. Everyone is just very, very nice. Like Bartice, obviously, like also got more a negative edit, I would say, on his
Mhm.
season. He is extremely nice. We
Yeah.
just were like, kind of like, it's weird when we all come together and kind of talk about our experiences and like kind of like share like just like what we all went through. And you just realize like no one that's on reality TV, if even if they do like negative or bad things on television, are ever like truly, truly a bad person.
Yeah, of
Does that
course
make
not.
sense?
Of course it does. And that's how I felt when I met Bartiz last year too. Wait, what else did you do in New York? I think you mentioned you met up with Raven, right?
Yeah, I also met up with Raven from season 3 separately. She wasn't filming this commercial with us. Okay, I'm just going to confirm for everyone. She is as beautiful as she is on the show and on social media. She is like, I feel like she is my like soul sister type of thing. Like we are very, very similar. What
Are
I
you
love about
replacing me?
her, yeah,
Just
pretty
kidding.
much. You're out. I'm gonna start calling you Raven on this episode. I'm just kidding.
Oh, what an honor.
We've been messaging each other for a really long time now. And so it felt like we had already like kind of like built this rapport and we had been friends for a while. So it was so easy. But one thing I really love about her brand is the fact that she does not mention Love is Blind anymore. She's like kind of
Mhm.
gone off to do her own thing, is building her Pilates brand. And I'm
The
like,
opposite of us.
yeah, yeah, literally the opposite of us. But I was like, you know what? Like, good for you. Like, hold your own. Cause I do think that what's really interesting about like, I think some people is how reality TV becomes your entire persona. And I
Yeah.
think she's like a good, um, like almost like a role model of like, it doesn't have to be.
Taking a quick pause for a snack story. So lately I've been trying to up my protein, and of course there's so many benefits of a high protein diet like better metabolism, hormone regulation and bone health. So I have incorporated chomps to add even more protein into my diet, and it's become my go-to snack lately.
No, they are so freaking good. I feel like we've already talked about them on this podcast, but my favorites are their Italian style beef sticks. And oh my gosh, their jalapeno beef ones are so good. I will not rave about them enough. So Chomps has up to 12 grams of protein per stick. Also, they contain 0 grams of sugar and they are low carb, keto friendly, allergy friendly. They don't contain any fillers. So it's all natural ingredients.
Yes, and right now Chomps is offering our listeners 20% off your first order and free shipping when you go to chomps.com/out of the pods.
Go to chomps.com/out of the pods to see all the delicious flavors and get 20% off your first order and free shipping.
That's CHOMPS.com/out of the pods. Don't forget to use our link so they know we sent you.
Anyways, speaking about cast, the Love is Blind season 6 cast has been released. So all the individual bios are now available. And
Dun dun
all
dun.
I will say is the women on this cast are so fucking beautiful. Like,
I
what the heck?
agree. This is a really, really pretty, really good looking cast.
Yeah.
And I'm not being biased. I didn't think that of every cast.
I remember for
I meant
season
ours.
5, I wrote that too. I remember for season 5, I wrote on the Love is Blind Netflix Instagram page, like when they released like the cast photos. I was like, this is
Mhm.
such a good looking cast. And people are like, girl, don't lie. They're like, do not lie.
Oh my God.
And I
People
was like,
are mean on the
okay.
internet.
I was like, well, well, well.
People are wild. Oh my gosh. So I am super excited for this season. Who, first of all, there's a trailer too. And
There is a
dude, the
trailer.
trailer, they always make the trailer so enticing. Like there's so much drama. Like there's so much like, obviously it's to get people talking and thinking about it. But I remember when our cast photos came out and we were literally, they were, everyone's like, oh, yay, normal looking people.
And I was like,
And I'm
what?
like, yup.
I was like, you know what that means? We are ugly. They're like, thank goodness, people who look like people you would see at the doctor's office. And I was like, huh? I was like, I look the best I've ever looked like in
I
this trailer.
know. Literally, I was like, I have worked so hard to get to this position, and this is the best I've looked in my entire effing life. And mm, average, 4 out of 10.
I know. I was like, okay, like, I guess my best is just average.
I
So
know.
I
You know
was
what?
like,
I'll take a
well,
4.
I know. I was like, I'll take a 4 too. I was like,
I
I'm
used to be a
typically a
2.
2 anyways.
Wow, we're
No,
bad.
I
We're bad
know.
at self-sabotaging.
It's so funny because do you remember before they announced our entire cast, like we started getting into like news articles, like when people would post like all of our bios, we only
Yeah.
got like less than a 24-hour notice. We got
Oh,
an
I
email being like,
remember.
this is launching tomorrow. Like, here you go. And
Feel
I
free to
remember being
post.
so excited. I remember being
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, my life is about to change. And I bet that's
Yes.
what these people are feeling.
Oh, 100%. I'm sure that I just like honestly, obviously it's excitement, but I was a ball of emotions, like a glass case of emotions because I was so anxious because I knew that some shit was about to go down. Like I was like, "Oh my God." But I was so excited because I was like, "Finally, please just be out there. That way I'm not like sitting in my thoughts and thinking about this shit constantly." Oh my God. But also, speaking of our cast photos, like can we just talk about our
Who
own
facetuned those?
bitch? I'm sorry. I didn't mean you. I meant what the fuck? I literally one eye was like drooping off the side and I looked at it and I was like, this is the picture I have to post for everyone to know I did the show. Like it's so bad.
Same. I couldn't get myself to post it. I was like, ooh, like my finger was shaking. I was like, I can't press post. It was they like photoshopped my hair bigger and like they used the worst photo of me and I was like and clearly they face tuned me. And I was like,
I'm so dead.
you didn't want to reach out for help to face tune myself. Instead, you made me like 20 times uglier. You know, when you like face tune your photos, you know exactly what to start face tuning. Like, I was like, I know I'm going to make my face a little bit smaller, like
I'm
my
fucking
lips a little
dead.
plumpier, whatever. This person did the opposite of everything I would do.
I know. I
It
was
was
like, why did
wild.
you fuck with my eye? My eye was fine. Like, what the hell?
Whoever face tuned our photos made me 20 times uglier. I was like, I could have done a better job. But
Uh,
instead they made my like they made my nose bigger, they made my hair bigger. I was like, what
why
happened?
are they
That's the
sabotaging you?
opposite.
Yeah, they're sabotaging us. They're like, let's make them a little uglier so that when the show airs, they'll be like, oh my God, they're so beautiful. No, I'm just kidding. No, but truly though, it's like, why didn't they just get like a side by side picture and be like, okay, let's just like, they literally just took my entire eye and drooped it down. And they're like, oh, here's Dopey coming through.
You know they were doing like 5 seconds on each person. They're like, let's just make little tweaks.
Yeah. They're like,
But
auto tweak.
100%.
Fuck.
It does bring me back. I know a lot of you guys don't know this, but I actually have a journal, like a private journal that I write
Me
in like
too.
when big things happen in my life. And I actually went back maybe a few days ago, like for this podcast, to read what I wrote when our cast photos were released.
Mhm.
And it was like, it made me kind of so sad because I don't really remember how I felt, but like reading like what I wrote during that time is very like, I was like, wow, I was so naive.
Was it therapeutic, at least for you?
It makes me realize like how much I've changed,
Yes.
like knowing everything I know now, like how
Yeah.
naive I was, but how like I knew so little that I was like so excited. I was like, I wrote
Mhm.
like things like, my life is about to change. Like, wow, like people are going to know my name. But then I was also really scared because, you know, I thought I was going to be the villain of our season. So I was like, oh my gosh, my life is going to change probably for the worse. But like this, I'm going to try to make this the best like moment in life I can, because when will people, like millions of people, know my name?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was just like, I hope I leave a really good impression though, but I probably won't. Like, I always like to think the worst so that
Mhm.
if something better than the worst happens, you know, like I was like, oh, like it
Yeah.
feels great. But I remember just being like, but I'm so excited that like all the anxiousness that I have inside will finally be released. And obviously, I don't think that happened. I think if anything, the show made me more anxious. But
That's
I
exactly how
remember
I thought
being like,
too.
be like that small little bit of like attention and excitement felt so good.
See, I was kind of like the opposite. I think I was like such a ball of anxiety because I knew leading up to it, there was a lot of anticipation because I was like, oh my gosh, like for me, I think being embarrassed or like feeling notions of like, oh my gosh, like someone's going to talk negatively about me is really hard for me because I'm like, I am such a people pleaser and I hate being misunderstood. So I was so fucking anxious, but also obviously excited. And I was like, oh God, like, because honestly, Love is Blind broke me as a person, but I needed to be broken so I can rebuild myself. And you're
I
right. We were
agree.
so naive back then. We
Yeah.
didn't know shit about this industry. We didn't know anything about how untrustworthy people are and
Yes.
how just like we're just in this bubble of like, oh my gosh, nothing bad is going to happen to me because I'm a good person and I only expect good to happen. So I was like kind of the opposite of you, where you were like, I'm going to anticipate negative things so that like you can be
Yeah.
mildly surprised, you know?
But I was like still excited because I think like I was like, wow, like the
We're in,
attention was interesting. The crazy thing is when I was writing, well, whatever I wrote in my journal, I was not anticipating like hate comments or anything.
yeah.
Like when the season would eventually come out, I was just like, this is an exciting time, like blah blah blah. Like I just thought people would just watch me and that was it. Like I wasn't anticipating um well, I guess I was anticipating hate because again, I thought I was going to be the villain of season 2 because I said no at the altar and I knew that, you know, again, it was a last minute decision. It might not come off looking well or looking good on TV, but I
Mhm.
think I was just so naive of like how consuming being on reality TV can be. I thought
Yeah.
it was just like going to be the small part of my life where I'm on a show, but you know, I'd still be working my corporate job and like still live a normal life. And like it would just, you know, I could just pay attention to like Love is Wine World for like an hour. I didn't realize it would take up my like entire like day, weeks, months. It was exhausting. I was so naive. Anyways, looking at the season 6 cast list, a few people stood out to me, but I feel like I'm a little bit biased because I know some of the people who are part of like the main cast and
Yeah, we're
obviously
definitely
like
biased.
yeah, so I'm like are they standing out to me because I know that they're going to get a storyline on the show. But anyways, let me just take that bias hat off and
Take
I'll
it
tell
off,
you who
baby.
I really loved
And why is it
from
Sunny?
this.
I don't
Okay,
know why
Sunny is
Sunny's
cute.
she's cute. One, that's my brother's name, so it stood out. Two, she was a business analyst, or she is a business analyst, and that's what I used to be. So I was like, oh, Sunny.
Yeah, and she's
I'm
34.
34.
So,
I know my worth, and I want somebody who knows it too. And I was like, yeah, girl,
wow.
rooting for you.
Deep D 2.0. She's going to
Yeah,
choose
right.
herself at the altar.
Let's go.
Or it might end up like a Xanab storyline where it's like you choose yourself, but it just kind of doesn't stick with the audience.
Ouch.
Okay, Look, I'm going to call out people who stood out to me, like, not for a good or bad reason. Just like I feel like
They
I
just
don't
put
know
themselves out
everyone part
there.
of the main cast. I don't know everyone part of the main cast, but people who I think might be part of it. Okay. Well, one person I don't think that is part of the main cast, but I really hope so, is Jess, the Asian woman on the cast. She's 34. She's a
Hmm.
PR director. Listen, the it's okay. Maybe this is a biased answer. It's because I'm Asian, obviously.
Yeah, I
But
was gonna say
I
the
would
bias hat
really
is back
love
on.
I would really love another Asian on this show.
I know.
Truly,
Yeah.
there has not been one in season 3. Oh well, Zanab, obviously, of course,
Yeah.
but still, like, just like pop one in there once in a while, you know? But I was like, A for effort for casting them part of the broader cast. I hope she gets
I mean,
chosen.
to give people the benefit of the doubt, what if just like Asian people are not applying or they're just
Good
not
for you,
falling in
actually.
love?
I
I
support
was
that
gonna
too.
say, I
You
was
know
like,
what? Like,
steer
I was like, is it
clear.
a good thing? But also, it's one of those things. Look,
Uh,
I'm just going to say this for all my Asian women listening, my Asian men listening. When I
Our Asian besties.
saw, yeah, when I saw people who looked like me on reality TV, it really impacted me in such a good way of like,
I agree.
we could be part of circles. That's just how I felt watching it. Like, I remember watching Are You the One season 1, and there's a woman named Amber who is Korean.
Hmm.
She found her partner on that show, but she was like the first Asian woman I had seen in a very popular reality TV show. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, like, people that look like me are considered like desirable and like pretty and like have the personalities to like really like have, I don't know, like I again, like, our personalities are pretty tame, but I was like, are can really make a splash on shows that are, that you don't see a lot of Asian people on. So I really hope she
I
does make it
agree.
for that reason. But that's my reason.
Yeah, and I feel
Um
like it's interesting because we've talked about this before. Is like we knew coming into the show like that we were going to be representing, but I didn't know to what degree until the show came out and like young Indian women would reach out to me and be like, "Thank you so much for going on this show because you truly are the first like Indian reality person in this way to like for love to go on a TV show like that." And it was like so inspiring. Like I didn't even realize the impact that we have. So you're right. There's
yeah.
like it's important.
Yeah. Good or negative edit or not, it's just good like when I see someone who has like similar features. But that's, again, no, not everyone really relates to that, but that's just me. Did you know that even if you have a 401k for retirement, you can still have an IRA? Robinhood has the only IRA that gives you a 3% boost on every dollar you contribute when you subscribe to Robinhood Gold. But get this, now through April 30th, Robinhood is even boosting every single dollar you transfer in from other retirement accounts with a 3% match. That's right, no cap on the 3% match. Robinhood Gold gets you the most for your retirement thanks to their IRA with a 3% match. This offer is good through April 30th. Get started at robinhood.com/boost. Subscription fees apply.
And now for some legal info. Claim as of Q1 2024 validated by Radius Global Market Research. Investing involves risk, including loss. Limitations apply to IRAs and 401ks. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold for 1 year from the date of first 3% match. Must keep Robinhood IRA for 5 years. The 3% matching on transfers is subject to specific terms and conditions. Robinhood IRA available to U.S. customers in good standing. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, is a registered broker dealer.
Another person who really stood out to me is Jess, who is a single mom. I have a huge feeling she is going to be part of a storyline on this season. She also gives me, I hope not, but like, she might be the villain type of vibe.
Really? Okay, let's talk about
Yeah.
this because I feel like this is the first time we've had a participant who has a daughter or like a child on the show, like prior to filming or like during filming, is what I'm trying to say. So this is like new. This is interesting. Like, what do you feel? How do you feel about it?
I'm really excited for it. I think you could tell it's going to be, I feel like she is going to definitely get attention because if you watch the trailer or like the teaser trailer, as they call it,
Hmm.
she's seen saying it. You see her in multiple scenes. I feel like she's kind of like, I feel like that solidifies she is going to get a storyline and it's going to be a big storyline. They obviously used her saying that she has a daughter as kind of that hook that there's a new type
Type of
of
storyline.
character on the show. Yeah. Cause like we've never had
Mhm.
that before, like a single parent going on
Yeah.
the show. But I was actually shocked at the backlash that she got for being a mom.
Yeah.
People are like, why the hell would you go on a show where you're getting engaged before your kid is like meeting your partner, or like the fact that you are going to the altar, you know, within like 6 weeks, and like what, like, how do you integrate your kid into that?
Yeah, and I
And
think
I
that's
don't know.
bullshit. That's bullshit, honestly.
I had mixed, like, I kind of understand the comment, I guess, but I also think that like it's fair that she's on the show.
No, for me, I don't understand the comment. I think it's like kind of frustrating that people just are so judgmental and they're just right away like quick to assume shit. You know what I mean? Like first of all, I think her daughter is a little bit older. So she's basically done growing up. It's not like the early stages of childhood where like her daughter is like 4 or 5 or like even 6. Like she's a little bit older, so it's not like this stepdad has to do much. Obviously, I agree, like integration is really important, but
Well,
like let her do her thing. And like she's making the best decision for her family. And I think she should be allowed to do that without the judgment of other people when they don't know what's going
I
on.
actually so agree with you. I think it's really hard when I see other parents being so judgmental when they don't know the full story. The daughter might be so excited and supportive of her mom doing this show. Like, you don't
Yeah,
know. Like, I went to go check out Jess's profile, her Instagram profile, and her daughter does look older. And I was like, you guys don't know. And also, like,
exactly.
Jess is 29, according to her bio. And it's like, yes, she's a mother too, and she has a kid, but she's also at that age of like I was 29 when I filmed Love is Blind. And it's
Hmm.
like, you
Imagine you
also need
having a
to also
child.
like, well, you also need to just like live your life. Like, if
Yeah.
this is what she wants to do for whatever reason, like, let her do it.
Yeah. And it's just like us, like, even though we got engaged and like whatever, after you get proposed to, you go back home and you try to integrate and figure out if it's right. If it's not right, then say no at the altar. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like married at first sight, you know, where you're like literally getting married at first sight. Wow. Clever name.
Say too. It's like, look, I think we can all acknowledge this. We are now at the stage where people do the show for a multitude of reasons. It's not for marriage anymore. Let's be fucking for real.
Damn.
If
Yeah.
you look, this is not a sentiment only shared by me, but it's probably everyone from the former seasons. The show
Yeah.
has lost its pure and luster of like, this is a marriage show. No, the
Yeah.
reality is this is a reality TV show. People are now using it for different platforms. Look, she might be using it to like not even get married, but like to find someone to date or for other reasons. But like, let's be for real, guys. Like, it is what it is. So I don't understand the backlash. I don't think she deserves it. Not at this stage. Like, I don't think she deserves the backlash for being a single mom doing the show.
Yeah.
But here's, look, I don't have a kid, so I'm saying it from the perspective of like someone just looking in without a kid. So
Yeah.
maybe I'm missing something, but that's our perspective. Like, don't hate on people when you don't know their stories or how they got on the show and why they're on the show. Like,
Yeah. Which actually it does make for enticing conversation. I do have to say, because this is the first time that we've seen it. So I think people are going to be like intrigued. And also, it's going to open up their minds to kind of see life a little bit differently when it comes to the show and like its interpersonal relationships of like adding a kid into the mix. Like, that's going to really be a game changer in how she
yeah.
like really looks for perspective. Like, not perspectives. What are those people called? Prospects. Prospects.
I was like, huh? I lost
Whose
you there for a
perspectives?
second.
Yeah,
I just said,
prospects.
uh-huh, just for the little like, okay, I kind of hear what
Yeah.
you're saying, but we'll
No, I
see.
mean, like, she's gonna see the prospects differently. It's not just gonna be so I mean, not that the show's casual, but as seasons go on, it's becoming a little bit more casual. I feel like she's gonna be very much like she's gonna be careful about who she picks.
But can I tell you why I think she might get like a negative, more villainous edit?
Yes, please tell me because I want to hear your mindset on this.
The reason why I think Jess might be the villain is because she has gotten a lot of screen time on that trailer. And I feel like that was very similar to Shayna, where it's a way to kind of like confuse the viewer of who they should be rooting for. But I really do hope she gets like a beautiful like love story or storyline, especially having her daughter involved. But I think it could go to either way. I don't know. I just have this weird feeling about it. So that's what I'll just say about Jess. We can move on from Jess though.
Yeah, but really quickly though, I do think for some reason I'm gonna go the opposing. I'm gonna go the opposing way of you because I feel like because she has a child, that maybe people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, I feel so sorry that her like her pool of prospects are like more limited. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be more tough for her. So we'll see. But also somebody else who stood out to me, Trevor. Like that's a big boy. In this, I like
Yeah.
those muscles are huge. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Not that that's why, but I when I read his tagline, Natalie, it made me think of you. His tagline was, "My best quality is my financial intelligence," and I was like, "Oh damn, I love
Oh,
that."
Trevor.
Trevor.
Something else about Trevor is he said in his bio that he has a major soft spot for kids as he worked as a caretaker for children with disabilities directly out of college.
Oh my gosh, I know, I love him. I think he's my fave so far. Let's see.
Really?
I mean, I have no idea. I'm just
You
like
think he'll
talking
get a
out of my
main
ass.
storyline?
Yes.
He
I
was
think
very prominently featured on the trailer too. So I was like, maybe. But
but you know what? That
again,
doesn't make
you never
any.
know.
You never know because, like, when our trailer came out, I was barely in it, and people are like, "Are you even in
Same
this
here.
show?" So
Same here.
yes,
It was like tricky. It showed Shayna making it all the way to the altar. They used my dress, and then I was kicked off somewhere in the middle. And I was like, look what happens. I got tricked too. I watched it. I was like, am I?
yeah,
Do I even make it to the
exactly. I'm like,
end?
who did this? I know at moments I was like, I would send it to my family, and they're like, "Oh, are you on this?"
No,
I'm dead.
literally same. I was like, I'm not gonna get a storyline on here, mom and dad. And they're like, good, thank goodness. And then here we are. Remember when we were talking about our panty preferences a few episodes back?
How can I forget?
Well, exactly. Well, coming from the underwear queen herself, aka me, I recommend Me Undies. I don't have a better way to explain, but their fabric feels like a soft, warm hug from the coziest sweater, but it's so breathable and so comfy.
Wait, Natalie, do you remember when we talked about this with our guy friends the other week? And
Yes.
actually, I think you brought it up, but I was
Yep.
floored when they said they wear me undies too. Like, what did they say again? It was so funny.
Okay, well, they said that Me Undies has these contoured pouch and ball caddies they love, and it helps them look huge, if you know what I mean. So, just passing that knowledge along for all of you. This is a very good buy for your partners, as it's leading up to Valentine's Day.
Yes, this Valentine's Day, good things come in big packages at Me Undies. Get 20% off your first order plus free shipping at meundies.com/slash out of the pods.
That's meundies.com/slash out of the pods for 20% off plus free shipping. Me Undies, comfort from the outside in. Another guy that I'm very interested to see how it turns out for him is Jeremy, spelled like the
Oh,
Southern way of Jeremy, where they take a normal name and toss some new letters in it. You know what I'm saying? It's
yes.
spelled Jeramey. And I was like, that A and E
Jeremy.
is very unique, but very, I feel like very Southern. I dated someone and his name was Caleb, and it was spelled like Kaleyb.
With a K, not with a
So yeah,
C.
sorry. Why did I just spell that wrong? I was
Well, it
thinking of
makes
kale.
sense. I mean, I've seen some
It
Caleb's
was
with a K.
it was Caleyb.
Wow. Why?
Yeah, and I asked
Why?
him why,
Yeah.
and I was like, why? And then also his mom's name was like Lysandra. I don't want to say the full name because then you could look him up, but it was a very like white Southern type of thing. They're like, they love taking, he said this as a man who grew up in the South. He goes, we love taking names and putting a little hyphen, changing out some letters, and here you go.
You know what? To each their own, baby. Do you? You got to get
Anyway,
creative with
so
names these days.
Jeremy is definitely from Charlotte. Let me say that the entire cast is pretty much, but he's the one who says in the trailer, he asks a girl, how many Instagram followers do you have?
Oh,
Ooh,
Jeremy. Dude, I like his tagline with the whole energy because you know me, I fucking love like talking about energy and like good
what's his
things.
tagline?
It's something about I'm looking for someone who can match my energy, which I like that. But you know what's funny
He could
is
match with you if he cares about Instagram followers. You could be like, I have 1 mil. And he'll probably be like, marry me.
you're so dumb.
Jeremy and Deepti. And
Jeremy.
you could add maybe another like Y to your name just
If
for
we
the
have
hell of it.
kids, we'll name them something crazy with a hyphen.
It could be like
um
Kayla, where it's like KY hyphen LA, but you change it to like an EA at the end just cuz. Kayla.
Imagine. No, I was gonna say it's interesting. I'm intrigued. I'm interested to see how this season goes because it's like I feel like it's North Carolina, so it's like Southern hospitality. Everyone's like very polite. They're saying like "bless your heart" as an insult. Like it's so tame. So I'm like intrigued.
I used to date a man
Ooh.
who is Southern to the core. Like I just said, his name was Caleb. It's
Yes,
let me tell
Caleb.
you, because I did don't be shocked, but I did live in Atlanta. And
Oh yeah,
if you go
Hotlanta.
outside of Atlanta, Georgia is south as it can be. But,
Mm-hmm.
anyways, one thing about Southern people that I've learned is they are so nice and proper. And
Yeah.
then you get some alcohol involved, and they are the wildest people you will ever meet. They are wild. The South is wild, and they are not afraid if you push them hard enough to like say some shit. And I feel like
Okay.
this season's going to actually be really messy. I
I
feel
like
like
that.
the thing about the South is it's not like it's a different type of like fighting over a guy or fighting over a girl.
Mhm. Yeah.
They're
No,
like witty little, quippy little people.
yeah. Actually, you're kind of right because I just remembered I love Southern Charm on Bravo, and obviously they're from Charleston, and they are
Messy.
messy. Yeah. They
Ooh.
just do it in a classy way, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. But
Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah, I'm intrigued to see how. I also am very intrigued for family dynamics on this season.
Flamly.
Family dynamics, baby. Family.
Do you think that, okay, with Jeremy, do you think that with his Instagram followers comment, like the show is going to make it a storyline? Like finally acknowledge that people do the show because they want social media, followers, fame, that type of thing?
Well,
Because they
you know,
never
it's
have done that in the past.
yeah, no, you're right. I feel like obviously there's so many people that are on it for fame. Even with our own season 2 had a lot of it. But you're right in the sense of the show, like storytelling it or kind of showcasing it. But I feel like it really started with Andrew with the whole eye drop situation because
Season
Netflix
3.
or Kinetic did him dirty with that one. They're like, let me just. So I think they're like outing people a little bit. They know who's there for the wrong reasons.
I think that they know, but I feel like they never made it a storyline. Like I think about our season and how there was one couple who definitely faked it till they made it type of thing.
Mm,
Well, actually they didn't make it, but you know what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like they kind of like it was very everyone knew like it was kind of like not real. Like
Mhm.
and they obviously did it for screen time and like they would talk about like Instagram followers and things like that. So, but it was never a storyline on the show.
Yeah.
Like, I think
No,
the audience knew, like, this is, like, very cloudy, but it never was, like, a thing. But I wonder if they will acknowledge, like, this guy cares about, like, Instagram followers. I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like they won't do that unless it's like a really interesting and juicy thing, but in the purposes for this trailer and was it Jeremy who said this?
Mhm.
I feel like he may have a big part in it, but I feel like it was put in the trailer just to get people like going.
Yeah.
Obviously, but like it's going to be you know how they do that? They just add little flavors of like dumb shit make it like, did this person really fucking say this? Like, who knows? It could be out of
Yeah.
context, but yeah, good old Jeremy's not doing well with that comment.
No. The other person that
Uh,
really stood out to me, well, I guess, like, 2 more for me is I really liked Danielle. She's 30 in
okay.
corporate comms. She was in the Army Reserves,
Oh,
which
that's dope.
so I just like I don't know, I think I like that. It shows like she's I feel like kind of like a really powerful woman type of thing.
Yeah.
And she, you know, like I don't know anything about the Army Reserves, but I'm sure it's like really hard to like get in and be in it. So
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
Another person I think that I found intriguing was Chelsea. Was Chelsea the one who said that she was married before?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
liked
she's
her
gonna have a
too.
right? Yeah.
I think that she will also get a storyline. Is that what you're about to
Mhm.
say?
I was gonna say that because I also like the fact that she talks about her soul. I'm like, "Yeah, girl, you're my type of girl."
Why did I just know? I just knew.
I was like, "Oh."
The moment someone, if
Mhm.
Deepti and I are together and someone talks about manifestation, soul stuff, Deepti is yours.
Yeah.
Deepti is like, I really relate to her.
Yeah.
I mean, she seems really nice. Who
Yeah.
else did we have that like married before storyline with? Was it Johnny
Johnny. Yeah,
from season 5 who we
you're right.
interviewed on this podcast? Okay,
Mhm.
interesting. I wonder the thing about like Johnny's like that storyline of her being married before, I feel like it didn't really go anywhere. Like it didn't impact her relationship with Chris or
Yeah.
Izzy, I don't think. So I
Mhm.
wonder like with Chelsea if it will become a storyline. The fact that they prominently like highlighted that in this
Yeah.
trailer.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I do have to say, with even the last 2 seasons that we recapped, until I'm, like, in episode 3 or 4, I don't get, like, super attached to the characters. And again, emphasis on characters and not the person, obviously, but, I don't, like, get invested. Like, so as of right now, when I was, like, looking through, I was like, "Yeah, cool, like, they seem cool, whatever." But I truly won't know, and I know my opinion will change until I'm gonna call it episode 4. I think episode 4 is when I'll start to really be like, "Oh, I love this person."
I think it will take me till like they whatever episode where they start living together.
Mm.
Cuz I think about like I'm thinking about like the previous seasons. Like think about Raven. Remember people like didn't like her in the beginning because she was doing jumping jacks in the
Oh,
pods with
yeah.
Bartice. And it wasn't
She's not
until she
listening.
turned him down. Yeah. And then you start seeing those sweet moments with SK, who shall not be named, but I just named him. um you're like, wow, I really love this girl, and then you go to
Yeah,
After the Altar and you're like, I really love Raven.
yeah.
So I don't know, it for me, I just know that it switches so hard. Like I even think about like Stacy from season 5. I really liked her in the pods. I was like, she is mature, she is like a girl's girl, and then it changed a little bit for me and for all viewers.
That's the
Can I
thing
tell you what I was
about
thinking?
it. I was gonna say
Go ahead.
that's the thing about it though, is like you have these like first impressions of people, but then when they really start to talk and like depending on their behavior, your entire mindset changes. So
Yeah.
we don't get
Okay, but
attached.
watching the trailer,
Hmm.
I thought about when our trailer was officially shown. I know we talked about this a little bit, but like I think what really caused me anxiety is not when the cast photos were released, but when the trailer came out like a week later for us or something
Hmm.
like that. I don't remember
Yeah.
the timeline, but holy shit. That's when I was like, oh, like shit's about to go down. Like even the things that Shake said to you, which made the trailer where he talks about like, I don't have that animalistic attraction towards her or something like that. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Because like we obviously we all filmed together kind of, but we had no idea what each other's storylines looked like beyond just
That's the
talking to
thing.
each other and what we thought. But
Yeah.
that caused me anxiety. I was like, whoa, this is real. Like
Yeah.
there is footage that's going to be out there versus just my photo.
Yeah, and what's crazy about it is also, like, you nailed it, is even though, like, we chatted a little bit about what might happen and, like, like, kind of like what your storyline was or what you think it was, for like watching it for the first time, you're seeing every single person's storyline play out, not just your own. And like you hear about what other people say about you, and like not just your like
100%.
significant other, it's like other people in the cast too. And you're like, holy shit, it's about to be a bloodbath. Like, here we
I know.
go. Yeah, that's
No,
crazy.
I remember seeing the trailer and it was I forgot, it was something Shayna had said. It was one of the trailers. Maybe it was like the deeper one, but there was like a scene with her and I
Oh
was like,
yes, that
this
gave me chills thinking
bitch.
about that. Yeah,
I
that,
was like,
ooh.
wait. I was like, she lied to my ass about what happened on the beach. It's very crazy. I wish we
Yeah.
could tell you guys. Well, I probably could. I feel like what we were
When's our
feeling when
contract
these
up?
trailers, I know, I was like, when our trailers came out. Like, dude, I was, oh God, if you guys knew, like, obviously we didn't share this on social media, but you could even ask Deepti. I was fucking crying my eyes out. Do you remember? Like when the
Yeah,
first sets of episodes came out, I was like,
same.
fucking Shane and Shayna are so dead to me right now. I was like, fuck them. But I was like bawling about it. It was
Yeah.
so
That was a
bad.
hard time for you because you were betrayed.
Obviously it's done and over with. I don't have like hard feelings about it anymore, but I remember it's tough because you bury what happened and then you relive everything and you learn things that you never knew. But the worst, really, I think what starts that anxiety for me are the trailers that come out. Like not
Mhm.
only of like before the show comes out, but you know, like those mid-season trailers where something like gives a
Yes.
trailer to like what's happening next, and you're just like, ooh, my emotions get like I was getting riled up. I
Yeah.
like you could not stop me. I was like Natalie 5.0.
You know
I
what's
was like
crazy also
crazy.
about those moments too is that like I remember when like we would get videos to post and it was like our own videos and stuff and it was crazy because like internally you're feeling so much anxiety about it and you haven't really even watched it yet and like you're like holy fuck like what did this person say but then at the other end of it you're like I'm excited to share it though like this is what happened. It's such like a mixed bag of emotions, you know, and that's like
Yeah,
oh my god. Oh, I do not wish to feel like that again, and that's exactly why I'll never probably do another dating show
I
because I was just like
know.
it's so scary. It's a very scary time. So
It's weird. So it's very anxiety inducing and scary. And I can only imagine what this cast is feeling. Guys, I really wish I could like share with you like how it feels when like these cast photos come out, but also like the trailers. Like I know people just watch it and they're like, "Huh, like whatever." But I think for the cast itself, like if they felt anything like we all did for season 2, it is like your heart is pumping. You're like, "Oh my god, like my life is about to just like flip."
yeah, and you can't
You know what's
sleep, you
crazy?
can't eat, like literally,
100%.
you're
I
just
was
like,
the skinniest.
oh
People, you know, when we filmed the reunion, when that episode dropped, people are like, Natalie dieted her way down. And I was like, no, bitch, it's called anxiety. I was like, I couldn't eat.
exactly. Anxiety diet is something different. It's
I was like, I was
definitely
like, I was like, you think that I could eat my fucking mashed potatoes just knowing someone's watching me on TV and criticizing the hell out of me and making a TikTok about it? I was like, hell no.
yeah. But you know
Like
what's
I'd be
funny is
eating and stop midway and I'd be like, huh.
no one is more critical watching the show than me myself. I am my biggest critic. Like watching it gave me secondhand embarrassment. I was like, you know, when
Oh,
you listen to
same.
your voicemail and you're like, oh my god, that's cringe. It's like 20 times more cringe watching yourself on TV. You're like, oh my god,
No.
oh my god, oh my god, is it
Yeah,
over?
I'm like, why did my face look like that? Why didn't I put more lipstick? Why didn't I overline my lips? They look like little like pencil sticks around my teeth. And then I was like,
uh,
additionally, I was like, why do I slouch like Queen Elizabeth?
oh my god, people coming
And
for
she's
my
got
makeup
60
was
years
hard.
old. Oh, you were telling me,
Oh,
you're
that's
like, do I look gray? And I was like,
the
I was like,
first of
I think it's a
all,
filter.
First of all, I from Mexico to going back home, I got darker and I didn't bring the right shade of makeup with me and I
It
did
was a
not have
pandemic.
it was I couldn't go
We
to
couldn't just walk into
Sephora.
Sephora. We had to wait for that
Bitch.
3 to 5 business day shipping.
And then if I go anywhere, they're gonna fucking COVID test me. So you know what? You get what you get, and that's gray skin. Like, here we go.
Good luck to that season 6. It's rough. But
Ugh.
you know what? This cast is really actually very, very good looking. So I feel like they'll probably have no problem. You know, it is what it is.
It's
That's why when people say, I want to see regular people on Love is Blind. No, I don't anymore. Because you got us, and you just chewed us really hard and spit us out.
yeah, nothing makes you more strong than just reading like the nastiest shit about you. But also,
Yeah.
if any of the cast is listening, like please just like ignore all of that shit. Like obviously, everyone's gonna have something to say. The internet is a wild, cruel place, but you continue shining and doing you, boo.
I can't even imagine what the season 6 cast is feeling. It's going to be wild. It's going to be
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited for it. But, anyways, I am super excited for this new season, and it comes out on Love Day, February 14th. But if you guys have any favorites, let us know on our Instagram page at Out of the Pods.
Or if you think someone's going to be the villain, also let us know. But feel free to leave a review and subscribe because we love those. See you next Wednesday.
Bye.